In a quiet village surrounded by rice fields, the living believed something simple. The dead never truly leave. They remain, watching, waiting, remembering. For generations, the Chen family honored their ancestors. Every year during the Ghost Festival, they set a long wooden table outside their home. Bowls of steaming rice, roasted duck glazed in honey, sweet cakes, tea poured gently into small porcelain cups. Incense smoke curled into the night sky like a bridge between worlds. Grandmother May would whisper,
"The dead never truly leave. Feed them, and they will feed your fortune."
And they did. The family prospered, crops grew tall, children were healthy, business flourished.
给你，谢谢惠顾。
谢谢阿姨，这个怎么样？
好，就要这个。
Behind the Chen home, unseen by ordinary eyes, translucent ancestral figures stood tall. Layered behind one another like a living wall. Generations of blood and bone. Great-grandfathers with stern faces carved by hardship. Grandmothers with kind eyes and steady hands. Ancestors whose names were nearly forgotten, but whose spirits remained. They did not speak. They did not move. They simply stood, calm, present, guarding. When storms rolled across the rice fields, the wind bent around the Chen house. When sickness crept through the village, it seemed to skip their door. When business slowed for others, customers somehow found their way to the Chen shop. The blessings were not luck. They were not coincidence. They were protection, and everyone in the village knew it. The villagers would whisper as they passed the family shop, "The Chens are favored. Their ancestors walk with them. Have you noticed? Misfortune never stays long in that house." Some said the rice in the Chen fields grew taller than any other. Some swore they saw figures standing in the fields at dawn, watching. Old women would nod knowingly and say, they remember their dead. That is why the dead remember them. Until everything changed, because everything changes when Daniel Chen, the boy from the city, comes back. He arrived with polished shoes and sharp opinions, with a phone always in his hand and impatience in his voice. He did not walk the fields. He did not bow at the altar. He did not look up at the mango tree where his grandfather once poured wine into the soil. He looked at the house as property, at the shop as business, at the rituals as weakness. The villagers watched from doorways as he unpacked modern furniture into rooms that had held incense smoke for generations.
Will he still call the ancestors?
They whispered to each other, "That one has forgotten the old ways. City air has dried his spirit. Will he still call the
seventh
ancestors?"
lunar month crept
The seventh
closer.
lunar month crept closer. The air grew heavier, as it always did. But
This ends
time,
with me,
there was
he
hesitation
muttered.
in the wind. Daniel stood before the family altar one evening.
Something
The
shifted.
wooden plaque bore the names of those who now stood in the unseen wall, including his own parents. Dust had gathered
This
along
ends
its
with
edges.
me,
He
he
stared
muttered.
at it for a long time. Then he wiped the surface clean.
Something shifted.
Not with reverence, but with annoyance. "This ends with me," he muttered. And with those 4 words, something shifted. Behind the house, the translucent figures did not move, but the air around them thinned. The wall that had stood for generations felt less solid. Not broken, not yet, but uncertain. Because protection is not forced. It is invited, and for the first time in decades, the invitation had not been spoken. The villagers felt it before they saw it. The dogs barked at nothing after sunset. The rice fields no longer swayed gently, they rustled in uneven patterns.